Are you considering moving to Chattanooga, but you don't want to live in downtown Chattanooga, and you're considering your options looking kind of around the greater Chattanooga area? Well, in today's video, we're going to discuss Cleveland, Tennessee, and why you should or shouldn't consider living here. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Living in Chattanooga, Tennessee. My name is Junior Francica and I'm an agent here in Chattanooga. As much as I love producing these videos, I love more helping you move to the area. So if you're considering the move to Chattanooga, whether buying or renting something, please feel free to reach out to me. I absolutely love it when you guys reach out, and I love the conversations we have. Reach out to me on the number on your screen. Give me a call, shoot me a text, or find me on social media. Hit me up with a DM there. I absolutely love it and love helping you guys out. So with that being said, let's get into today's video. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about location, housing prices, and kind of cost of living that you can see here in Cleveland. One thing to know is that Cleveland is located in Bradley County. So if you look on the map, on the east side of Hamilton County, you'll see Bradley County, okay? So even though I'm gonna focus a little bit more on Cleveland specifically, I will touch on a lot of places in the Bradley County area, but for the most part, this is mainly about Cleveland, but we are going to discuss things to do and places to see and kind of some cost of living as far as Bradley County goes. So let's talk about size. Cleveland is much smaller than Chattanooga, and Bradley County is much smaller than Hamilton County as far as population density and size as well. So if we're looking at specific numbers, Chattanooga city limits has a population of 182,000 people, and Cleveland has 48,000 people. Now, if we're looking at counties, Bradley County only has 110,000 people, but Hamilton County has 369,000 people. So as you can see, there's a big difference as far as size and population density. But if you're looking for more space and kind of that smaller town feel, then that's definitely a plus for you. Now, just because the population and density is smaller in Cleveland, that doesn't mean that they're not growing. The 2010 census compared to the 2020 census, it's growing at 11%. The national average is about 5 to 6%. So as you can see, it's growing about double or almost double the national average, which shows that it's growing at a very fast clip. Just to give you a general cost of living idea, according to Rent Cafe, it's actually 4% lower cost of living when compared to other areas in Tennessee, and actually 14% lower when compared to the national average. So if you're looking for a cheaper cost of living, Cleveland and Bradley County are definitely an option for you because it is a cheaper cost of living when we look at the general landscape as far as housing, groceries, gas, all that stuff. It's definitely a cheaper cost of living. Now let's talk about housing prices. The average or median house price in Cleveland, Tennessee is $300,000. And if we look at as of October 22, if we look at October of 2021, it's up 24% from $242,000. That is showing you right there that prices are increasing. It's appreciating really nicely. But if we look at Chattanooga or Hamilton County as a general, the median price point is $350,000 as of October 2022. So even though Cleveland is growing and it's appreciating pretty fast, it's still, the median price point is still much lower than Chattanooga or Hamilton County, which is definitely a plus. Now let's discuss things to do or conveniences that you can find in the area. Fun fact, I actually found this out doing the research for the video is that General and eventual US President Ulysses S. Grant had a headquarters in Cleveland, Tennessee during the Civil War, which was pretty cool. The city has a lot of history, so if you're into history or you want to research more, go ahead and do that, because you will find a lot of information on Cleveland, Tennessee as far as history goes. So the first thing that I want to mention is I get people that call me all the time that say, hey, I want to move to a smaller city. I want to have, you know, those cute, quaint little downtown areas that we can walk to or that we can walk around in, and this definitely has it. So if you're thinking about a romantic comedy for Christmas, that's a Hallmark movie, and they have the nice little downtown that has shops and restaurants, small brick buildings, this is definitely what you will find here. It's definitely a plus for a lot of people that are looking for that. It's hard to find in the area, but Cleveland definitely has that. Now, if we're talking about parks, Cleveland actually has a large variety of parks for being such a small town. One of my favorite parks and my kids' favorite parks is called Deer Park. My kids take violin classes in Cleveland, and every time we go to the violin classes, right after that, we go to Deer Park for a couple hours. I mean, it has a zip line, need I say more. The park is awesome. It's actually was rejuvenated or kind of fixed up in 2019. So it's definitely a nice place that you can take your kids. There's a pavilion where you can actually have birthday parties that we've gone to a couple times there. I know a lot of people that homeschool their kids. They actually take their kids there and kind of do the homeschooling where they have the picnic tables in the pavilion park, and then they let their kids play. There's an area for sand, and you could build sand castles, and there's water, and there's just a bunch of things for your kids to do. It's definitely a great park to check out if you're visiting the area. Cleveland also has a greenway. I think the official name is Cleveland-Bradley County Greenway. It's 4 miles long, one way, so if you start at the beginning, you go all the way there and back. It's about 8 miles total, and it passes through a couple different parks. It passes through a couple different schools, so it's definitely a nice place to where you can go running. You can just take a nice stroll. It passes through, I think, a couple of tennis courts as well. There's sections that are through the trees. There's sections that are open and kind of next to the road, but it's definitely a great place that there's different parking spaces throughout the greenway, or you can just start at the beginning and kind of bike with your kids or your family or yourself all the way there and back and get nice scenery and variety in scenery. It's a great place to visit. Another great park in the area that's not in Cleveland specifically, it's in Bradley County, almost next to Hamilton County. It's called Red Clay State Park. This park is really nice. It was actually Cherokee Native American lands, and it's actually where the Trail of Tears started. It has a lot of history. There's a lot of information that you can gather when you go to this park. Another cool thing is that it actually has a natural blue hole spring. You know, people in the area say that they used to think that it had natural healing properties. Other people just say that it's where they got their water from, but it's definitely a cool place to visit. There's actually a little ledge that you can have, you know, if you have your dog or your kids, or you just want to put your feet in the water. The temperature stays a crisp 56 degrees year round, so it's definitely nice in the summer, not so much in the fall and winter times. Other things in the park, they have a couple of hiking paths, nothing to write home about, but it does have a 1.6 or 1.7 mile loop. So if you want to go hiking or jogging, it's definitely nice to have such a big loop like that in the park as well. If you're looking for hiking specifically, I wouldn't say that Cleveland is the best place for hiking. Bradley County in general is not the best for hiking, but right next to Cleveland and Bradley County, you have places in Hamilton County that you can get to very easily. You have the Cherokee National Forest right next to you. You have a Coe area where they have white water rafting in mountains. You have a lot of places around you that you can get to 15 to 30 minutes max. You have Benton area where you can go and climb the mountain there. You have waterfalls everywhere around the area. So even though you don't have hiking specifically where you're at, if you need something that's 5-10 minutes away, it's probably not the best place for you, but 15, 20 to 30 minutes away, you can get to many different hiking, mountain biking spots or trail running spots that you can get to from Cleveland, Tennessee. As far as conveniences go with dining and shopping, you know, you have your Chili's and your Olive Garden, but you don't have higher upscale restaurants. I know we have a couple local places. There's a Italian place in downtown Cleveland that everybody raves about. As far as shopping goes, we have Target, we have Home Depot and places like that, but we don't have Whole Foods, we don't have Trader Joe's. If you want those type of places, you would have to go to Chattanooga, which would probably be, 20-30 minutes depending where in Cleveland you live. So you do have the essentials and the necessities as far as Target. There are supermarkets, Walmart, all these things that you would need. Next thing, let's talk about jobs, employers, or local economy that you can find in Cleveland or Bradley County as a whole. One thing I will say is that there are a couple major employers or manufacturers in Cleveland. For the most part, is that if you're wanting to work more of a corporate job or you want to work in different bigger companies, a lot of people will live in Bradley County or Cleveland because it's cheaper cost of living, and then just do the commute to downtown or other places of the Hamilton County or Chattanooga area. Now, depending on where you live in Cleveland, it's actually not that far of a drive. If you look on the map, Cleveland has 75 running through the top of it. So if you live anywhere close to 75, sometimes it's really only 30 to 35 minutes from Cleveland all the way to downtown Chattanooga. So even though you are a little bit ways away, it's mostly highway driving to get to downtown or other places that you can find bigger companies or different type of employment that Cleveland or Bradley County doesn't really have. But with that being said, let's talk about the employment that you could find in Cleveland. I think the biggest employer in the area for manufacturing is a Whirlpool factory. I think they have anywhere from 1,500 to 1,800 employees is what I found. It's a great employer and definitely brings a lot of jobs to the area. There's a couple of distributors and furniture companies that have around 2,000 to 3,000 jobs as well. Other jobs that you can find in the area, for example, for healthcare, the biggest hospital system in the area is Skyridge Medical Center. So a lot of healthcare workers can find jobs in that facility. Again, there's other hospital centers in downtown Chattanooga or kind of all over Hamilton County. So even though you don't have a really big healthcare provider in Cleveland, you can still kind of commute to other places in Hamilton County or Chattanooga. Other employers in the area would be Bradley County and Cleveland school systems. We do have a local university called Lee University in the area, so you can also find some employment there as well. And just to give you some numbers, the local unemployment is 3.1% and the national unemployment or the average national unemployment rate is 3.7, just to give you an idea. So it is a bit lower than the national average. So if you're looking for a smaller town feel that has a cute little downtown that has shops and restaurants that you can walk to, if you want to find places that have more land, that the cost of living is cheaper, and you don't mind so much that you don't have Whole Foods or you don't have these bigger chain stores, then Cleveland might definitely be a place that you should consider and look into. So with that being said, guys, that is today's video. Again, if I have not answered any questions that you may still have, feel free to reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call from the number on your screen, or find me on social media and send me a message there. I absolutely love it when you guys reach out to me. And with that being said, until next time, take care and God bless.